Hi, welcome to Fantasy and Enchantment, where I describe fantasy books to my husband and see if he's enchanted. My name is Sarah.
My name's Justin.
Thank you very much for coming back. Start off, as usual, with content warnings. We both swear a lot, so adult language, be on the lookout for. Also, spoilers for all of the books that we're discussing. If you haven't read it, if you want to read it and don't want me to ruin it for you, go somewhere else.
Go read the book, come back, and then we'll ruin it.
Yeah, that's basically how this is going. So this week we are doing A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is the novella. It's very short compared to the other ones especially.
I'm real excited that there's less pages this time.
I knew you would be. But before we get into it, since it is just so short...
we're going to peel back the curtain here just a touch and let you know that those first few episodes we recorded, we did all at once. And here we are, about a week later. I need a refresher course for where we left off because I have the memory of a squirrel and I don't remember everything that happened. So we're going to give just a real quick pickup as to where we are, what's happened in the previous stories, and then we'll dive into what's going on in this book, which hopefully is not a lot because there's less pages.
Okay, so Feyre, do you remember her?
Yeah.
Tamlin, do you remember him?
Yeah.
Rhysand.
Big cock. Got it.
Sure. Let's see. Elaine and Nesta are fairies now, her sisters.
Right.
Her dad is dead, doesn't have a name.
He dead, no name. Pirate was there.
Pirate was there.
Yep.
Lucian, the
Yep.
pirate.
Like him.
I know you do. A lot of people do, actually.
Jack Sparrow.
Okay.
He's not Johnny Depp.
He's not Johnny Depp,
Not
actually.
Johnny Depp. He's a pirate, hook for a hand, peg leg, one eye. On a boat.
He's ginger.
I'm on a boat.
All right.
No, he is ginger, so he's also got no soul. I forgot that part.
Yeah. Important to remember that.
Right.
They had a big war where everybody was basically fine.
Yeah, because nothing really happened. They all just fought. Nobody died.
Well, people died, but then they came back to life, and it was fine.
Right, that's right. We finished off, and they basically played the same thing they did from the first book and brought everybody back to life. So there were no real consequences of the war, because that's the way real life works.
Yes. Let's see. Bonecarver and the Weaver are dead.
Bonecarver is dead. He was my favorite. I loved the name. Oh, yeah!
Bryaxis, the monster in the library, is just running free and wild now. We don't know what's
He's just
going
out and about. Did we ever get a description of him?
I want to say it's described as just like this mass, like this. I always imagined it as like a black tornado.
That is the worst character ever. I'm just a tornado spinning around, fucking shit up.
Well,
That's
his thing. He's like a monster of fear, so he makes people experience their worst fears. So he doesn't need to have like a form.
he just changes and he's a shapeshifter.
He's a boggart.
Stop making up words. Why do they make up everything?
That's from Harry Potter. So
Another series of books where they made a bunch of shit up.
that's how this works, Justin. And really, she didn't. J.K. Rowling did not make a bunch of shit up. She borrowed a bunch of shit from a bunch of other shit.
Also, she's problematic now. We're not going to talk about
Fact.
that. Okay, so
Justin has some thoughts he'd like to share.
Justin's
before we
a
get
fan
started.
of professional wrestling, okay? And
Oh, I couldn't tell from the Macho Man ring.
calm it down. So, recently, a new character has been introduced in AEW. I'm not going to try to convince you to go watch wrestling, but you probably should.
No.
This new character, his name is the Beast Mortos. Mortos. He's the coolest guy on the planet. I feel like his look is very much in kind with this story. And I'm going to show Sarah a picture of him
Oh,
for the
no.
first time right now.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to get her opinion on what character he lines up with. Because I just assume everybody looks like this. I also will encourage everyone to stop right now and Google the Beast Mortos. Definitely do that. Okay, so here's Mortos. Who is Mortos in this book?
I mean, one, that's not how I imagined anybody from
That's
this
how I
book.
imagine all of them.
He could be the king of Hybern.
The Australians.
The Australian.
So he's
who's
Australian.
dead.
He's actually Mexican. Good try, though.
Thanks.
Well,
Okay. That was fun.
big fan of Mortos.
Okay. I don't need to see him anymore.
Okay, well, definitely Google Mortos, everybody. Also, watch pro wrestling. It's a lot of fun.
Also, we said that we were going to come up with a name for Feyre's dad, and we never did that.
We did.
So really quick, do you want to throw one out? I'm going to regret this.
Man, It's got to be something stupid.
Steve.
Also, I feel like Grumpy Steve. I feel like maybe he would be played by Sean Connery, although I think Sean Connery might be dead now.
I don't think he is, actually.
Well, I mean, he's probably not going to play him now. But if he was going to play him in a movie that we're just fantastically casting,
Yeah.
let's say it's Sean Connery. But let's call him Scott.
I don't know what I expected, but I don't think it was Scott.
His name's Scott now, but it doesn't matter because he's dead.
I don't think he is.
He's not dead?
He's not dead. Google it.
No, not Sean Connery, Scott in the book.
Yes, yeah, he's dead.
I did pay attention. He's
Kind of.
dead. Sean Connery, questionable.
Sean Connery's not dead.
He might be
I'm almost
dead.
positive.
He might be dead.
Okay, we'll save that for later.
Scott is definitely dead.
Yeah, he is extra dead.
Super dead.
So, are you ready?
Let's do it. I think I know where we're at now. This is the blue book.
This is the blue
The
book.
blue book, what's on the cover?
It's a flower.
It's a flower. The worst of the covers so far. Is there anything else? Everything else has had a critter with something mixed in, or there's been something else going on. This one looks like just a flower. Looks like Sarah Maas really phoned it in on this one.
You know she's not in charge of designing. That's a graphic designer's job, is to make...
Somebody half-assed it, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Thank you for your opinion.
Duly noted.
To the description, Feyre, Rysand, and their friends are still busy rebuilding the Night Court and the vastly altered world beyond, recovering from the war that changed everything. But winter solstice is finally approaching, and with it, the joy of a hard-earned reprieve.
Is this a full winter is coming thing? Is this, they go full Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay, planting flowers, winter is coming. Got it.
Yet even the festive atmosphere can't keep the shadows of the past from looming. As Feyre navigates her first winter solstice as High Lady, her concern for those dearest to her deepens. They have more wounds than she anticipated, scars that will have a far-reaching impact on the future of their court. Bridging the events of A Court of Wings and Ruin with the later books in the series, A Court of Frost and Starlight explores the far-reaching effects of a devastating war and the fierce love between friends.
So this, they straight up say, this is just a little bridge of the gap to get you. This is just a way to get you to spend $15 more on this phoned-in book, cover included, to just get a little bit more line into the pockets.
I mean, this is a novella, and it's kind of a mix-up in the series because the first three were all from Feyre's perspective,
Right.
Feyre's point of view. They were about Feyre. This one, and then the one after it, and there's at least one or two more coming after that, are about the other people surrounding her. So this one, like, there are different points of view. You hear from Cassian and Nesta and some other people. Rysand, I think, gets a couple chapters to himself. So this is what it means by bridging the gap or divide or whatever it said.
So we're not just listening to her perspective. We're hearing from other people now and their inner thoughts and what they're feeling.
Yes.
Okay.
To the book.
To the book.
Winter solstice is coming up, which is also Feyre's birthday. I think she's going to be 21.
So they still celebrate birthdays. Also, she's 21. She can get hammered legally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they never mentioned a drinking age, so I'm pretty sure she was getting hammered before that. But
Right. Well, she was getting hammered, but mostly just getting the bottom knocked out.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Winter solstice is essentially Christmas. They exchange gifts, they decorate.
But they can't say Christmas because that's a
There's
whole
no
different.
Jesus,
That's
yeah.
a whole other fairy tale.
Yep. So, everybody's getting ready for winter solstice. In the last book, Cassian and Nesta had like a moment where Cassian, they're into each other. Nothing's really happened at this point, but they are into each other.
It's gonna happen.
Yes, that's the next book. Spoiler.
Great. Like I'm gonna remember. I'll be surprised in the next episode, guys. It'll be good for all of us.
I'll definitely remind you. When in the second book, when Valeris is attacked, Feyre helps fend off the attack. There's an art studio that's destroyed in the process. So Feyre is walking past the art studio. She's feeling bad about the war and about all the people who died, whose names she didn't know.
Right, because they're not important. Except for her dad, Scott. He's dead.
Yes, Scott is dead. We do meet a character who comes up again in the next book. Her name is Emery. So, I tried to say Rysand and Bad Boys at the same time. The Bat Boys.
God damn it.
I know how much you love that.
Oh yeah, I love these Bat Boys.
So Rysand and the Bat Boys are Illyrian, special kind of fae. They're trained as warriors. They're meant to be warriors. That's their thing. But they're also sexist as shit. So the women, Illyrian, are not allowed to train. They have wings too, but they get their wings clipped by force so they can't fly.
So they got to stay in the kitchen and make sandwiches.
Yeah, that's exactly how that goes.
All right. I did have another question that came to me while I was thinking about all this. Are there any gays? Because they have their magical links where that's their mate. Are there any gay ones?
Morgan is gay.
Okay.
I didn't mention it at the end of last book, but her and I think I mentioned that Morgan and Azriel's kind of in love with her, but it's not reciprocated.
Yeah.
We find out that's because Morgan likes girls.
Okay. That was a legitimate question that came to me when I was thinking about this, and I was like, oh wait, I wonder if there's gays in this fantasy world.
At least one.
There's one gay.
One gay, one black.
One gay, one black. We hit our quotas.
We did it. Woohoo!
Seems a little underrepresented, but it's a fantasy, so there it is.
It'll get better.
No gay fantasies.
I mean, maybe
for you.
not this one, but other ones will get better.
There's more blacks and more gays?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Bring on the blacks and the gays.
So Emery is Illyrian. She's had her wings clipped. She can't fly, but she does own a store, which is a big deal because she was the only person left in her family who could inherit the store. So she's got like a cousin or something who's trying to force her to sell it, but she's adamant, like, I'm not doing that. This is mine. So we meet Emery in the store. She comes back in the next book. Rysand hears that the spring court is basically falling apart. So he goes to check on Tamlin, and Tamlin is a fucking mess. He's kicked everybody out of the house. His house is a mess. There's nobody around. Rysand feels sorry for him and is like, go clean yourself up. I'll get you something to eat. And maybe while you're at it, get your act together. So Tamlin at least feels guilty now.
So did it get destroyed in the war, or is it just a mess because he's bad at everything?
He's bad at everything.
Okay.
Well, he's bad at everything, and also I'm trying to think of the word.
A piece of shit?
Well, that, but also it's neglect more than anything else.
Okay.
Because it's a spring court. Flowers grow all over the place. There's vines everywhere. Lots of plants. It's all messy.
They're just not tending to the plants.
Not tending to the plants.
Inappropriate.
Nesta, we find out, is living in like this seedy apartment. She knows about winter solstice, but she doesn't want to come. She doesn't want to be there. She doesn't want to be around anybody else. Feyre basically has to bribe her to coming to their solstice party.
She doesn't celebrate Christmas.
No. Especially not this one. So her and Feyre have that confrontation where Feyre says, I'll give you money if you come to the solstice party. So Nesta does show up. Yay. Libby.
She got bribed to show.
She got bribed. It was the only way she was going to come. She doesn't stay for very long. She basically storms out, but Cassian follows her out to try to give her a gift, and they get into an argument, and he ends up throwing it in the river.
Fuck your gift.
Fuck your gift.
It's kind of rude to throw your shit in the river. He spent money on that, presumably.
Yeah.
Does that come back? Do we ever find out what was in the box?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Next book.
Next book. Okay. This book is, again, they're phoning it in, guys. It's just a half-assed shit show.
Feyre ends up buying the art studio that got ruined in the attack.
What was there to buy? There wasn't anything left.
Well, the people who owned it died.
So who's she paying money to?
I guess some kind of fairy realtor? I don't know.
I'm real confused about the way the real estate works in these books, because sometimes it sounds like they're all living in huts and shit, and then other times they're living in apartments and they've got shops, and I'm struggling to get a visual of what this place actually looks like.
So
I'm thinking like thatched roofs and like little huts made of stones, but then other times it's like, well, maybe they've actually got real carpenters and they put up siding and shit.
So the way I see it is like Feyre's house that she was in at the beginning of the story when her family was poor as shit.
Human house.
Human house. That was thatched roof cottage, 2 rooms, very small.
Okay.
Tamlin's mansion, whatever, is on like 30 or 40 acres of land, so there's nothing else around it. But there are cities in the spring court. Feyre just didn't really see them because she was at the palace She was either at the palace or she was under the mountain. That was basically
Only
it.
place the shoes allowed.
Yeah, because, I mean, especially in the second book, Tamlin wouldn't let her leave the house.
But when you say house, are we talking like a big old farmhouse, or are we talking like a castle, or is it just like your standard like 3-bedroom colonial? I just don't know what I'm thinking of.
I think it's described as more like a castle than a house.
I mean, it feels like a castle-y world.
Yeah. And then the night court, everything is just packed more closely together.
Just 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Sure, we'll go with that. But Rysand has a couple houses. He doesn't have like a castle in the same way that Tamlin does, but he has a few different houses. And then they live really close to the city, Valeris, which is an actual city.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I guess a little bit. I don't know. It's just... my brain doesn't work for fantasy. This is a problem.
I know.
Anchored to reality.
But reality is awful.
In my own way.
Reality is awful.
I mean, that's fair.
That's why I read these books. I
To
don't want
escape.
real life.
I know. I'm her husband.
You said it, not me. And then at the end of the book, Rysand, I have got to look
You're
that
gonna
up.
get
I
it
don't
eventually.
remember.
One or the other.
I'm gonna sew
Watch
on it.
Watch it be like Rysand, and you've been
I
saying
know it's
both
not
wrong.
that. I know it's not that. Anyway, him and Feyre decide to have a baby.
Oh, because that solves everything, guys. Let me tell you, as a parent, having a child thrown into your tumultuous relationship doesn't make things better. Not that we had a tumultuous relationship, but having a child makes things not better, ever. They say terrible twos. It's terrible from day one, guys. Newsflash.
I'm so glad you like being parents so much.
Well, I'm good at it.
Anyway, I mean, their relationship isn't tumultuous. The way it's described from Feyre's point of view is that, like, she doesn't want to waste the opportunity because a bunch of people just died, and so...
Their whole lives are tumultuous.
That's fair.
Everything follows this bitch around everywhere she goes.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's the whole book.
That's it.
That's it.
We're done.
Like I said, very short book, not much happens.
Man,
Done.
whole lot of not shit going on in this one.
Yeah.
Is the next one like 1,000,000 pages to compensate?
Oh yeah, it's a real big book.
Also, I want to say that I purchased this book for you, and I definitely feel like I got shafted paying $15 for this one. Because I think they were all the same price, and this one hardly has anything in it.
Yep, that's not my fault. Okay, so now that we've gone through the very short book,
Yep.
what do you think I rated it?
Man, I hope you didn't rate this one too high, because nothing fucking happened, and there were not very many pages.
Correct.
I am going to guess you gave it a 2.
No, I said 3.
3?
Yeah, I mean, so...
I think you're giving points based on the previous books, and you're just...
Well, no, so 5 books is, like, top-notch perfect. I didn't see anything wrong. 4 books is, like, mostly okay. 4 stars, I mean.
I was going to say, did they rank it as number of books, or that's just confusing? It's stars.
No, I'm confusing. That's the problem.
That's true. Again, I'm married to her.
Thanks.
Bitches be confusing.
4 stars is pretty good. Like, some plot holes. Like, I didn't love the characters, whatever. 3 stars is like, congratulations, you wrote a book.
It's a book.
It's a book.
I feel like that should be 2 stars. Like,
Well,
it
2
is in fact a book. 1 star is like, you should
Well,
probably
okay.
be licking a window somewhere.
So I take that back. 3 stars is like, it's a book and it does have like some story in it. 2 stars is congratulations, it's a book. And then 1 star is like, you can't even string sentences together. Why did you write this? So I've not given anything 1 star.
I would be giving out 1 stars left and right.
I know you would.
I'm not allowed on these kinds of apps for a reason.
Yep, that's true.
Also, I don't read books.
That's also true. So we've got 1 more book left in the series.
1 more, and then it's done.
And then we move on to the dragon smut, which I know you're really excited about.
Yay, dragon sex.
The dragons do actually have sex.
Of course they do. Please tell me they go into descriptions of genitals in the dragon sex books.
Not for the dragons.
I've got questions that need answers when it comes to dragon penises.
You are going to have to answer that on your own.
Oh, I'll do a Google search.
I know you will.
Call me Butter Baby, I'm on a roll.
Okay. So, as always, follow us on Facebook, TikTok.
We're ticking and we're talking.
Yep, I guess we are. Leave suggestions, rating, reviews, always welcome.
Also, I thought TikTok was just for 14-year-old girls, but apparently it's for book people too.
Yeah, I had to explain what book talk was. That was real fun.
She won't let me be in charge of the TikTok.
I'm thinking about
Start a program, people. Tell her that I should be in charge of it.
it. A program?
A program, a grassroots program. Send emails. Complain. Tell her I need to be in charge of the ticking and the talking.
The fact that you're even calling it that makes me feel like no.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for listening. We'll be back next time
With more nonsense.
with A Court of Silver Flame.
Hopefully it's got a better cover and more pages.
You probably won't like it.
Probably not. Bye!